Hello and welcome to day 9 of the 21 Reiki challenge. Today we are going to start with the self-treatment, and after that we will have a meditation. We will be performing a meditation, a guided one, and of course it will be guided by me, and it's regarding your shadow self, which is part of the inner self. I will explain a little bit more on the way, but first let's just start a short Gasho breathing meditation, and then we follow up with a self-treatment, alright? So, your hands are in the prayer position, called Gasho. Your thumb is touching the heart chakra, or the heart area at least. Your back is straight, your feet are well planted in the ground, parallel to one another. Back straight. You close your eyes, and with each inhale, you visualize as you are bringing universal energy through your fingers and through the crown chakra. With each exhale, you are releasing residual and negative energy, which goes outside of your body. So, let's begin. These are going to be deep breaths, okay? It doesn't matter if you exhale through your nose or through your mouth, it's up to you. You can place your tongue on the roof of your mouth for a better energy flow. Alright, now let's activate our palms. You can also add the Reiki symbols. Chokurei, 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 chokurei. Seheki, 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 seheki. If you are knowledgeable of the Honshaze Shonen and Daikomyo symbols, you can add them as well. Honshaze Shonen, Honshaze Shonen, Honshaze Shonen, Honshaze Shonen, Honshaze Shonen, Honshaze Shonen. Daikomyo, 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 Daikomyo. You don't need to know the exact lines of the symbols, you just know how they look like so you can clearly visualize them. And of course you should know what they do, usually. And when to use them. In this case we're going to use them just for the self-treatment. So let's start. With the crown chakra, you can activate the Reiki symbols here as well. Seheki, 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 Honshaze Shonen, Honshaze Shonen. Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo. You can say them 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, as much as you want. This is just a symbolic act of bringing them into the physical plane, and the clapping as well. And just relax, allow the energy to flow, don't force it. You can use this position with the brain hemispheres or on top of your head. They have quite a similar effect. And I was mentioning keeping the tongue on the roof of your mouth with the tip behind your upper incisors. This unites the 2 main or primary meridians, Renmai and Dumai, that go on the length front of the body and back. They help your vital energy to flow naturally and easy through your body. Not to be confused with the main energy channel, Sushumna, which has a slightly different role, and that's the one that unites or connects actually the energy of the chakras through your body. that one is indirectly cleansed and activated through your Reiki session. That's one of the reasons I prefer to start from the head, so that that channel can become, drained of, or it releases any clogged energy or residual energies. We can shift to the third eye chakra with its back projection. And if you find it difficult, because I know for some of you it's quite, even for me it was in the beginning difficult to hold your palms in these kind of positions, you can just rest your elbows on your table or just keep them like this and have the intention of sending energy towards that part that I am guiding you. In this case, it's the third eye. This is the energy center for intuition, so thirst for knowledge, perception of yourself and of the world, a healthy perception. Responsible with wisdom, earthly wisdom. The crown chakra is responsible with divine, connecting to divine wisdom and channeling divine messages. This one is interpreting those messages and using them for this physical world we are living in. So the third eye chakra is responsible for that, for interpreting the divine messages and using them in the physical world, while the crown chakra is responsible for receiving them. Let's move on to the throat area. Again, you can place your palms like this or like this. This encompasses the back projection as well. Yeah, I do need a bit of energy for my throat chakra as well. You can activate chokurei, 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 seheki, seheki, seheki. Shikaso, shikaso, shikaso. Shikaso is one of the non-traditional symbols, and this one is used for the throat chakra, for enhancing its health, opening it, and allowing you to heal, and helps you heal any kind of imbalances, physical or energetical at this level. Excuse me. slowly shift to the heart area. You can keep both palms on the front or one hand in the front, one at the back projection of the heart chakra. This is the center for offering and receiving forgiveness, compassion, love, acceptance. Accepting who you are and what you are in this very moment is done through the heart chakra. Accepting others also comes from this place. Judging and criticizing slowly blocks the heart chakra and the throat one, especially if gossip appears in the equation. This is just for you to know. Let's move on to the solar plexus chakra. You can keep both hands on the chakra or one at the front, one at the back. This is less than 1 inch above the navel, or approximately 1 inch. I wanted to say centimeters, but I remembered I do have to mention inch actually. This is the center for your willpower, courage, determination, finding solutions in life. Willpower, inner strength, self-trust, self-worthiness. Let's just stay a little bit more here, considering this is the busiest chakra of all in my perspective. So you have all those vital organs here that help process and flush out, well, process more than flush out, nutrients, drinks, anything that we ingest. You can slowly move on to the sacral chakra, front and back, or both palms on the front. This helps with digestion, social interaction, opening up from a sensual and sexual perspective. It's not necessarily about intercourse here, it's about acknowledging your own sexuality and sexual energy. This is from a spiritual perspective, not necessarily from a physical one. The physical is just an effect, an outcome. Move on to the root chakra, the anchor into the telluric realm, to the physical plane, grounding abundance, perception of your whereabouts in the physical world, orientation. You know that moment when you travel and you are so busy. That's because this root chakra becomes quite imbalanced. You change the environment, and some people are more sensitive to that. Some are not. The ones that are very grounded are not so sensitive to this change. If you feel like home in any place that you've traveled to and you don't have a problem with orientation, could mean that you shared another life there in that place, and there's still a connection there. Doesn't need to be severed, this connection necessarily, but you need to find out or perceive what needs to be extracted from that place, what needs to be left in that place, if there's anything needed to be left there. Maybe you meet someone, another spirit that you've shared a connection in the past in that place. And it's connected to the root chakra, your earthly connection. Not only to the root chakra, but that's one of the main places through which we can perceive that feeling at home, even if it's not your own city or country. Let me know if it happened to you. It happened to me quite a few times. Actually, a couple of times, I'm not gonna exaggerate. Okay, so we are slowly going to end the self-treatment. Thank you, the spirit guides, guardian angel, thank yourself, thank the universal life force energy and divinity for everything you have and for being able to perform this self-treatment and for the support. And I'll see you in the second part. Okay, so this is the second part of day 9 of the 21 Reiki challenge. And I was mentioning that we are going to do a meditation regarding the shadow. But just 1 minute to explain in short what is the shadow. I know I mentioned it before. But the shadow is that part of the inner self. This is my perspective and through my experience at least. The shadow is that part of the inner self that holds all those unfulfilled desires, frustrations, fears, anger, unexpressed anger, or unchanneled, not properly channeled anger, because you can properly channel that towards something constructive. Here reside all those generated energies, dynamic energies of low vibration, such as physical contact in an aggressive way. All those, negative thoughts that, oh, look at them, they have such an expensive car, how can they afford that? Such an expensive and beautiful home, where do they get that money to do that? All those things are stored in the shadow self, and they are frustrations, not in a sense that we interpret here in a physical way, but frustration at a spiritual level, in the sense that we would at some point or in some way desire those things. And you will say, wait, this is envy. Yes and no. Just a second. You would desire those things. But there's a chance that maybe those people that you are saying that they have all those beautiful things, and they might have done something illegal, or maybe they have done something, that's not really moral. But that's their problem. That's not yours, is it? And maybe they done so with, being conscious about it and taking responsibility, or maybe they haven't, they don't even know the implications. Regardless, there's a huge chance that you may not want their lifestyle. I'm not talking about just the material part, I'm thinking about the whole idea. Maybe most likely you will not want the life they have, because look at this moment, you have a gift that you can use to practice, to understand a few things about yourself, about your psychic levels, about your inner self. And maybe they don't. And even if they do, maybe they are engaged in things that are very complicated for their life, and maybe they don't have a peaceful sleep. Don't be frustrated. Be thankful, first of all, of what you have. Be happy of what you have, and see if you can progress from that point without desiring what others have, or thinking negative thoughts about others or other situations, because those are stored in the shadow self, and the shadow self grows in this direction, in a sense of being ugly and being fatigued, tired. And that shadow self is part of you and will always be part of you and will follow you through all your lifetimes. It's not something that's only in this life. And if you don't heal it, you're gonna continue placing brick by brick into the darkness part of it. And it's going to affect you, because your connection with it will be slimmer and slimmer. To be weaker, actually. And you will not be able to be in touch with it, because the point, and yes, this might sound strange, the point is to be in touch with it, but not only that, to embrace it, love it, accept it, and try to heal it slowly, in its rhythm, and in your own rhythm, actually, because it's still you in that moment. In your rhythm, don't force it. But the point is to heal and embrace it, and I'm talking about literally embracing it in a spiritual world. Like being able to hug your shadow and be happy and cooperate, form a team, because the shadow can be incredibly useful, invaluable for your daily life and for your spiritual growth and for your relationships and for your anything in life. Talking about relationships, if we had our shadow selves healed, okay, maybe there's no 100%, but healed in a true sense, like there's no real problem that you might have from a shadow level, and you will understand through the meditation what I'm talking about, because words don't do justice for this explanation. If it's healed, you will attract only healthy partners that are all on your level or resonance, or maybe partners that are willing to learn and are opened and they are receptive and responsive in that direction. So your partners reflect your unhealed shadow side and parts of the inner self that are not healed, not only the shadow side, the feminine and masculine levels that are not accepted, understood from a divine perspective and from a spiritual perspective, and they're not integrated. Once all those elements are integrated, the yin and yang, the shadow, the light, then you are whole, and you will understand that any partner that you might encounter or you might have complements you instead of completes you. Because this with the relationship is quite something. So everybody has this desire to find ideal partner or to make the best out of what they already have, which is normal. It's human-like and it's normal. So the shadow is responsible for many aspects of our lives. If we healed our shadows, the earth would be completely different. Humanity will be completely different. Wars will stop. Conflicts will cease to exist slowly, diminishing one after the other. People will be at peace with one another, or at least will be in a more understandable energy and understandable vibration. Maybe they will not extraordinarily love each other, but they will at least understand each other and have, a moment of a place of common ground. So the shadow is extremely important. It holds all those things that were frustrations and unfulfilled desires and wishes and things that you wanted to do but you couldn't do. And it just cries there. But it can release those things in time and help you find ways of healing those aspects, regardless of your age, religion, whatever. Doesn't matter. And maybe you will ask me, yes, Vlad, but I cannot do them maybe at my age. Maybe not, but you can do other things that can make your shadow, let's say, happy, more simple terms, to make it happy so that it can release that stacked residual low vibrational element, energy and information that sits there. And you can at least replace it with something else. Or maybe you can do that thing and you're not even aware that you can do that thing that you desired. Okay, maybe, I'm not gonna be, if I desire to do ballet when I was small, maybe now I cannot do that, obviously. But I can do some sport that can involve mobility. I can do something, physical activity that involves that dynamics that I would have found in that ballet class, let's say. I'm just giving an example here. I didn't want to do that, but I'm just giving an example. So you can find ways of healing it, and once you do, you'll be in harmony with yourself and everything around you will change, inevitably. Maybe gradually, not in just one day, but it will change nonetheless. And you will have this healing that you will take with you beyond, in my opinion at least, beyond this life even. Because it's so important that you are in tune with your shadow side, because it's such a big part and deep aspect of your inner self. It's like the deep subconscious. Once you enter that, you will be free from all those undesired elements that you have accumulated over the years. Or maybe others have contributed to that. Don't blame them. You attracted those for a reason. We're going in a different, more deeper path, but let's just prepare for a meditation. I know this is a bit long, but it's worth it. So, you can sit comfortably in a chair. I recommend you sit in a chair, not lie down, neither standing up. Just sit comfortably in a chair with your back straight, but still remain comfortable. You can lay on your back. You don't need to sit like super straight and tense. Just lay back. Palms facing up on your lap. Your feet are parallel to the ground. And you close your eyes. And you take a few deep breaths. And relax. And now you visualize yourself in a meadow. In nature, with fresh grass lying on lower to your feet. You can breathe the fresh air in this area. You're alone here, but it's peaceful. You can look at the sun. You can look around you. Realize if it's spring, summer, fall. Look at your feet, if you're wearing any shoes. You can bend down to touch the grass, and you can feel its smell. And you inhale the fresh air from this area. You begin to walk forward, and in the distance you can see an opening into a small forest. Gradually walk towards that opening, but don't enter just yet. Just head towards it. Once you will enter that forest, all your worries, all your negative thoughts, anxiety will be left outside this forest. And whenever you're ready, you can enter the forest with confidence. As you begin to walk through the forest, you can breathe the fresh air from here. Look at the trees. Are they young, old? Are there any leaves on the ground? Is the ground wet or dry? Is the light of the sun going through the trees? Or is it so dense that barely any light goes through? And as you walk through the forest, on your right hand side, there is a small water flow. A spring of water. fresh water. And you walk by its side. You can drink from it, you can wash your face or hands with it. It's very clean and fresh. As you go and follow this spring of water, you see that there's an opening in the forest without trees. Like a veil goes downward, and you follow it. You go downward into the veil. The water continues to flow on your right hand side. But in this veil, you will stop and observe a tall, thick rock, about 9 feet tall, 3 meters tall. It's quite a solid rock formation, like a small cliff. You can touch it. You can feel the texture of that rock, of the stone. Then you take a step back. And from the right hand side of this rock formation, your guardian angel appears. Thank your guardian angel for coming. Ask your guardian angel, why is he here? Is there something important that it needs to communicate to you? Does it have any message? Ask it if it's happy with your current life. And if not, what can you do to make it better? So that he can be happy and pleased. Ask for forgiveness, because you have not talked to your guardian angel for some time, or maybe not as often as it's needed. Again, ask it, what can you do to make things better for your life from a divine perspective? If you feel like crying, allow the tears to fall. Your angel is not there to talk bad to you or to tell you off. He's there to help you. After you finish your conversation, ask your guardian angel if you are able to hug him. And if it says yes, then hug and offer all your love and compassion. As you feel your angel's love and compassion coming to you tenfold, once again, thank your guardian angel for arriving here in this moment. You can bow to him, or you can place your hands in the prayer position and say goodbye for now, as it is always next to you. And your angel goes behind the large rock. Take a couple of breaths and integrate what your angel has told you. As you sit here facing the rock, from the left hand side, your shadow appears. Do not be afraid. It's part of you. Say hello to it and thank your shadow for coming. Ask for forgiveness for not paying attention to it, or at least not so often as you should have. Allow it to speak to you. See how your shadow is dressed, how it looks like. See what messages it has for you. Ask your shadow what can you do better for it to be healthy and healed. What does it need from you to do in this perspective? Ask what you can do for it to become more healed and happy. Tell your shadow that you want to form a team, a collaboration for healing, releasing, and ascension. Slowly, in both your rhythms, gradually. Ask your shadow what you can do together towards this perspective. When you're about to finish the conversation with your shadow, ask it if you can hug it. And if it says yes, then hug it and offer it all your love and compassion and forgiveness and acceptance. And as you let go of the hug, observe if your shadow looks a little bit different than from when it came. Maybe it has different clothes, or maybe it looks a little bit more luminous. Thank your shadow for coming and ask it to keep in touch for the greater good of you and it as a unity. And allow it to go behind the large rock. Take a few deep breaths and remain here, integrating the knowledge and messages your shadow has offered. When you're ready, you can turn around, and now the stream of water will be on your left hand side. And you are slowly exiting the veil. You are breathing the fresh air of the forest. You are charging with its pure and vital energy. And now you're slowly going towards that entrance in the forest, which now will be an exit for you. And the stream of water is on your left hand side. You can wash your face again or drink from it should you choose to do so. When you reach the exit, walk out of the forest and notice if outside there's still daylight, or maybe twilight, afternoon, or maybe night. You slowly walk through the grass towards the initial place where you started, in the middle. Breathe the air from here. Feel the smell of fresh grass. As you are arriving to your original place from where you started, place your hands in Gasho and thank Divinity for its support and help. And when you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes. Remember that your shadow will never tell you to do things that will harm others. Neither will your angel. And the interesting fact is that your shadow will not tell you to do things that are completely opposite of what your angel is telling you to do. And neither vice versa. They will they should always complement each other, not contradict each other. Even if your shadow tells you to do something of low vibration, it doesn't mean that you cannot do something of high vibration that your angels tell you to do. Usually they don't contradict each other, and not usually, all of the time they do not. You can do both in balance to create a balance, because you need to experience sometimes what the shadow tells you to do in a way that doesn't harm others, and it will never ask you to do something that will harm others or influence them in a negative way, unless it's something that you need. Maybe you need to express something, and it might hurt their feelings because you're being honest, or because you're being not rude, but maybe because you need to just be yourself more firm, not aggressive, but firm in everything you're saying, assertive maybe. And if they are hurt, then that's their problem. As long as you're not rude, mean, angry, that's not, everything is fine then, and then they are too sensitive, or they are using you, or maybe manipulating you. So think about that. Your shadow will never ask you to do something that will actually harm others. If that's the case, that's not your shadow. But your shadow, authentic shadow, will never tell you to do that. And your angel will also obviously never tell you to do that. And again, everything they say should be complementary. They should complete each other. You can do them without going head to head, clashing. They don't clash. They can blend in their own rhythm, in their own time, in their own way, but they can blend because one helps the other. At one point, your shadow, after you have completed or touched based on the elements that your shadow has requested from you to heal, it will not ask. When it's healed, when it becomes happy, it will not request the same things, or maybe not any kind of related things that it has been asking from you before. Something different, or maybe nothing. Just wants to be at peace. And you can send light to your shadow from time to time, 2 times per week maybe, just for starters. We will talk about the distance healing, but for those of you who know how to do distance healing, you can already do that. Not in this session necessarily, because I will have to end it now because it's been quite long. But in your free time, we will talk about distance healing as well, as I mentioned. So keep that in mind with the shadow and the guardian angel. And I hope this was useful for you. And you can watch this video again should you feel the need to do the meditation again, because you are doing the meditation. You need to be aware that I was a guide for you now, but you need to visualize those things. And I'm just, basically guiding you in that meditation, offering you the steps, but you need to walk on them. I cannot perform the meditation for somebody. It's something that you do, okay? And be sure when you do this meditation to, not start angry. That's why we did the self-treatment, we did the breathing exercise, just to relax. And I would add, not have a full stomach before, just have a couple of hours after you have eaten anything. Because you need to be a little bit more light. just to process everything, because it's quite a deep meditation, in my opinion at least. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.